Okay, so today we're going to talk about triangle congruence. So there are four theorems that will prove that two triangles are congruent. Today we're just going to focus on two of them. Um, so those theorems are basically like if we have like three pieces of information that we know about the triangles, like three pieces that we know are like equal to each other, we can prove they're congruent. Obviously, there's a lot more than three pieces to a triangle because each triangle has three different sides and it has three different angles, right? So the first two theorems we're going to talk about today are side, 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 and we'll throw another side in there. And let's do a less colorful, let's just do a blue pen. Okay. And the other theorem that we're going to talk about is side angle side. Okay, so those are the two theorems, and we usually just refer to them as SSS and SAS. Okay, side, 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 or side angle side. Okay, so what we're going to go through today is we're going to have a bunch of examples of two triangles, and we're going to be given three pieces of information generally, and we just need to say if it matches one of those two theorems. Okay. If it doesn't match one of the two theorems, we're just going to write NC for not congruent. Okay. So let's go through and do some examples. So looking at number 2 here, and this is on page 135 in your book, by the way. Number 2, we have these little tick marks means that they are congruent sides, right? The one tick is congruent with the one tick. So if I were to like say this side was 10, then I know this side is also 10, right? So those little tick marks mean that they're congruent or that they're equal to each other. Same with the double tick. I know that these two ticks are congruent to this one with the two ticks. Okay? So I know I have two sides that are equal to each other. And then to qualify, I need a third piece of information, right? Well, both these triangles share this side, right? If they share the side, then it has to also be congruent because it's the same side. It's the same length on both triangles, right? So this is going to satisfy the side, side, side theorem because all three sides of each triangle have a congruent counterpart in the other triangle. Okay? Same idea with number 4 here. I've got one or a couple of sides that have the 2 ticks. I have a couple of sides that have the 3 ticks. And then they share the same side right there. So that is also side, side, side. Okay. Now, this one, number 6. This is a tricky one. So, first of all, anytime you see an intersection on the grid like this, or an intersection or whatever, if you remember in 8th grade, one of the things we talked about a lot was vertical angles. So we know that anytime you have two lines that are intersecting like this, that the opposite angles from each other are congruent. So I know this angle has to equal this angle. Okay? Now, I do know that this side is congruent to this side. I know this side is congruent to this side. But the theorem is side angle side, right? That would maybe match that. In order for it to work, the congruent angle has to be between the two congruent sides. While that is true in this triangle, it is not in that second triangle. Okay? So this is not going to satisfy the side angle side. So this is going to be not congruent. Okay? Because these two sides are not, it would have to be over here for it to satisfy the side angle side, but it's not. So, not congruent. Okay? But if we look at number 8, I know this side is congruent to this side. I know this angle is congruent to this angle. and they share this side, okay? So if they share that side, side, angle, side, side, angle, side, it satisfies the side, angle, side theorem, okay? The side one's pretty simple because there's only 3 sides, right? So if all 3 sides are congruent, then it's going to be side, side, side. Side, angle, side, it's a little bit more particular. The angle has to be between the 2 congruent sides. Okay? All right, last one I'll do on this side. I have all 3 sides are congruent, so side, side, side. Pretty hard worksheet, right? Okay, this next one, we're going to be a little bit trickier this time. So on this one, it gives us 2 pieces of information and it wants us to fill in the third piece of information or what's missing. Okay. So, like, we're looking at number 12. It wants me to prove that it's side, angle, side. And when I look at it, both of these have 2 congruent sides. So the thing that's missing is the angle. So basically, I just need to draw in the tick mark that angle has to be congruent to this angle, right? The angle that is in between the 2 sides to satisfy it. Now, that's all you really need, right? That's just angle Q is equal to angle K. Okay, that's all you really need. Again, another side, angle, side. I've got the angle. I've got a shared side. So I need the side that would, be right or opposite the angle here, right? So if this is shared side, this is the angle, then this side would need to be congruent to this side, right? Has to be side, angle, side. Side, angle, side. Okay, so that would be like line FR would have to equal line SR. Okay, and another side, angle, side here. I know a side and an angle. I just need to know the next side, right? So those lines have to be equal to each other. Or line JK has to equal line ZY. Okay, side, side, side. I know these sides are congruent. I know that's a shared side, so I just need these 2 sides to be congruent. Okay, another side, side, side. Again, I know those 2 sides are congruent, so I just need these 2 sides to be congruent. So all you're doing is basically just drawing in the tick marks, right? Side, side, side. I know this is shared side. I know those are congruent, so I just need those 2 sides to be congruent. And you satisfy side, side, side. And that's all you're doing today. If you have any questions, we are here to help your teachers. We want to help. You just need to ask us questions. And we'll see you out there.